Let's be honest. When you picture the American Museum of Natural History, what comes to mind? Probably giant dinosaur skeletons, right? Or maybe that iconic massive blue whale. And yeah, you're not wrong, but what you actually see in those public halls, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Today, we're going to dive way deeper to uncover the vast hidden world that really makes this place tick. And this quote from writer Frank Johnson just nails it. It perfectly captures that feeling, right? That moment of pure, unfiltered awe when you first walk in and see the sheer scale of it all. It's a feeling that has captivated people for generations, and it makes science feel less like something you read in a textbook and more like this grand, incredible story that's unfolding right in front of you. So that powerful public experience is exactly what makes the museum so famous. But it really makes you wonder, is a museum just a collection of incredible things to look at behind glass? Well, for the American Museum of Natural History, the answer is a huge no. It's time to peel back the layers. Okay, first things first, let's start with what we all know and love, the sheer spectacle. The public experience is just a masterclass in creating wonder. It's designed to be a journey of discovery, and wow, does it deliver? I mean, come on. You've got the legendary dinosaur halls with that T-Rex locked in its timeless, ferocious pose. Then there's the Milstein Hall of Ocean Life, where that unbelievable 90-foot blue whale just floats weightlessly right above your head. You can literally journey through the cosmos at the Rose Center's Hayden Planetarium. Or you can stand in front of the breathtakingly lifelike dioramas in the Ackley Hall of African Mammals, which were, they were revolutionary works of art and science. These are the wonders that create those jaw-dropping moments. Now, I want you to hold on to a number, because this number, it changes everything. That number is 34 million. That's the total number of specimens and artifacts in the museum's collection. To put that into perspective, what you actually see on display, that's less than 1% of the whole shebang. This single number is where our story really pivots, from the museum you think you know to the scientific powerhouse it truly is. So here's the crucial part. Those 34 million items aren't just packed away in storage collecting dust. No way. They form this vast, active, and absolutely invaluable library of life that scientists from all over the world rely on every single day to understand our planet. This immense collection is a meticulously cataloged archive of our natural and cultural history. We're talking millions of insects, countless fossils that trace the entire tree of life, cultural artifacts that tell the story of humanity, and even meteorites that hold clues to how our solar system was formed. This isn't just history in a box, it's the raw data that fuels real, cutting-edge scientific discovery. And that right there illustrates the museum's true purpose. See, it's not a static vault of old things. It's a dynamic, global engine for research and education, and it's actively working to answer the biggest questions we have about our world. And the scope of this work is just staggering. Get this, the museum has over 200 scientists on staff. It leads expeditions from the Gobi Desert all the way to the Amazon. It even operates its own dedicated research station out in Arizona. And in 2006, it became the very first museum in the United States with the authority to actually grant PhD degrees. That's a huge deal. Add to that the 400,000 schoolchildren who visit on field trips every year, and a much, much deeper picture of this institution really starts to take shape. And its reach goes so far beyond its physical walls in New York. A perfect example is the Seminars on Science program. It's basically an online platform that gives K-12 teachers everywhere direct access to the museum's world-class scientists and resources. It's a really targeted effort to improve science education globally by empowering the very educators who are on the front lines. But look, like any institution that's been around for over 150 years, its legacy is complex. It's not just a straightforward story of scientific triumph, it also reflects the changing and sometimes pretty uncomfortable currents of society. So now, let's take a look at how the museum is grappling with its own past. Part of this history involves moments that are viewed very, very differently today. For instance, back in 1921, under the leadership of its then-president Henry Fairfield Osborn, the museum hosted the Second International Congress of Eugenics, a movement now widely condemned as a pseudoscience. Acknowledging this history is a really key part of the museum's evolution today. A more recent and very public example is the Theodore Roosevelt statue that used to be out front. It was installed in 1940, but its depiction of Roosevelt on a horse, flanked by a Native American man and an African man, grew more and more controversial over the years. And as you can see from this timeline, the museum didn't just ignore it. It actually opened an exhibit in 2019 to talk about the statue's hierarchy. And after years of public dialogue and protest, the statue is officially removed in 2022. It's a really clear example of an institution actively responding to a changing cultural conversation. And that work is very much continuing today. The museum now formally acknowledges that it sits on Lenape-Hooking, the ancestral homeland of the Lenape people. It has collaborated directly with indigenous communities to renovate halls like the Northwest Coast Hall. It has an office that's dedicated to cultural resource repatriation, and it's even implemented a committee to improve its own environmental sustainability. These are real, tangible steps toward building a more inclusive and responsible institution. So what this all points to is a fundamental shift. The museum's goal today is to move beyond just a single authoritative voice. It's about bringing in a diversity of perspectives to tell richer, more complete stories, and in doing so, becoming a living institution that is constantly rewriting its own narrative. This leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. In an age of such rapid scientific and social change, the role of an institution like the American Museum of Natural History is really twofold. It has to continue to document and explain the story of our planet, while at the same time examining and rewriting its own complex story. And that ongoing evolution might just be its most compelling exhibit of all.